and welcome everyone. It has been an absolutely chaotic day. Hello, oh Gareth, you're lucky.
Ah, you see now.
Yeah.
Hello everybody.
So what you're seeing now is part of the funnel, the Boma funnel, that is going to be bringing the wild dogs. We're going to be chasing the wild dogs into this funnel using a helicopter. And then we're going to go around the back and have a look at everything now. But we're just going to have a quick look at where the guys are setting up the next set of curtains. So there's 1, 2, 3 or 4 curtains depending on how long this is. Each side of these funnels is about 100 meters long, and that's where they're going to chase the dogs. The dogs are currently just over this big hill over there. We're hoping they don't move too far overnight. Everyone can say hello. There we go. Hello. Look, there's Grant. He looks happy.
Hello, Grant. Bye, Grant.
Bye, Grant. Bye. Hello, Carol, Barbara, Betty, Di, JP, Connie. If I missed anyone, just pop in and say hi. So a recap of what's going on here, guys, is that it's been incredibly successful, the reintroduction of wild dogs into the Salati Reserve. It's been so successful that there are now too many dogs for the reserve. So we need to catch them because they keep breaking out of the reserve and going to an area where there are cattle farms. They've actually eaten quite a few cows. They've eaten some goats. They've eaten some breeding Inyala and baby eland. And now the farmers actually want to shoot them. They even applied for a destruction permit from the government because they said they were losing too much. I think we've passed the end of the nets. Yeah, we have. So basically, if the dogs keep going out, it's not an if, it's a when. They're even going onto a gold mine, which has a whole bunch of other dangerous things if you're a wild dog. So let's turn around. So basically, we've chosen a really nice road here. So the dogs on the other side of this hill, we're going to try to chase them around the mountain and then basically bring them down this funnel. And we'll get to the first set of curtains shortly, now that we've come through.
And the main aim is to bring them down this road, this very road that we're driving on. So they've picked a road. Well, we've picked a road.
Sort of straight.
Yeah, that's sort of straight that they'll hopefully follow. We're hoping the dogs will follow the road straight down into this funnel.
And it's a huge amount of work. To set up a capture operation like this, just to do the setup, is going to be about 8 hours. We're not even sure we're going to be able to finish this evening. They might have to finish early tomorrow morning. But of course, this is just sort of a precursor to the big show, which is tomorrow morning when the exciting stuff is going to be happening. It's too hot to push the dogs at the moment. The nets are not going to be ready. Okay, so here you've got the first curtain. So basically we've got a triangle here. It's 100 meters long. 100 meters long is about 300 feet on each side. And the moment the dogs pass this point, a bunch of guys will run and close this curtain. Gareth might even be running with the curtain tomorrow. Who knows? We'll probably put you at one of the closer curtains.
Thank you.
So you don't have to run as far.
Yeah, not as fit as I was in my youth.
So basically once the dogs have come through into this area, they push. They're still going to cut a whole bunch of branches as we get closer, to actually hide the external nets. Now they also have to move a huge amount of rocks and to dig down, because obviously with wild dogs they like to go under things. So it's quite important to be able to then sink this down so the dogs can't get out. It's much more important as we get closer to the edge point here. So it's going to be 3 curtains. So here's the second curtain. So once the dogs pass this point, then the guys will come running and close this curtain. And then we're going to, eventually they're going to be pushed all the way down to the final curtain, which is where the guys are laying rocks off. This is obviously the most important spot where it comes to stopping the dogs being able to go under. Let's just park a little bit closer and we'll go take a little walk. The piney tree looks like it needs to be.
Yeah, you talk about an operation, Brent. There's got to be close to 25 people on site right now.
Bye. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. We're back live. Just going to have a quick show. Gareth, you chat us through this section.
Yeah, I was just chatting to some of the crew that are here, everybody. So you'll see there's a whole bunch of rock that lays on the ground right here. This rock has been cleared from the funnel to make life easier for the dogs coming through and for any people that are running around closing curtains. And what they're going to do is they're actually going to use this rock to then hold down the shade cloth and cabling in this area, just to make sure that this section right here, the final point,
Okay, we're back.
all right, brilliant.
Okay, we're live.
Sorry
We're back.
for the break
Just
up
make
there,
sure
everybody.
It's pointed at the back
We
of
are
the
working
car,
on it.
So you see
Getting
those
back to
small
the
aerials.
point that I was trying to make here. So this
Pointed
is
at those
obviously
small
the critical point. So this is the last point before the dogs actually go into the trailer. And you can actually see that, how it comes to the end in that trailer there. Obviously that really needs to be secured up tight. I was chatting to one of the gentlemen that's actually the general manager of this reserve, and he was telling me that you know, when these dogs get to this point, they're going to try everything in their power to try find a way under this shade cloth to try get out from this point. Of course, it's going to be quite a stressful moment for them when they come in here, and the alpha female lead find a way to escape. So we really have to secure this section, and that's the ultimate goal that you can see right there. We want all of them entering into the trailer. We shut that up immediately. Job done.
There'll be someone sitting on the roof. We'll go have a look at the trailer from the other side. Carol says, I remember seeing something similar a few years ago. Now, this is your standard sort of practice when it comes to catching herbivores in large numbers: impala, zebra, wildebeest, inyala, but very, very seldom do you ever use this for carnivores. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is only the third or fourth time this has ever been done with wild dogs, and Jerry has done 2 of the 3.
Amazing.
So Jerry was actually here earlier. He was sighting the site for the funnel. He is literally the most experienced one when it comes to that. Of course, tomorrow he's going to be up in the chopper, but today he's going to be double checking everything in the morning, making sure it is all working.
Yeah, so you can imagine for all of us, for all of the crew, for some of us, this is a first.
It's a first, proper first.
Yeah, so we're very, very excited, everybody. It's going to be a monumental thing to pull off tomorrow. But it's amazing to see the teamwork from everybody here, and also to see the expertise from the people like Jerry, Grant, who have obviously done this before. It's amazing to see what knowledge they bring to this sort of thing, and make sure that it goes off as best as we can hope tomorrow morning. Not too sure what time we're actually going to get the dogs coming through here.
That depends on how far we get with finishing setting up. So we're going to carry on live for a little bit, but then we're probably going to have to do some manual labor and help get the boma, the capture boma, finished as quickly as possible. So that's the plan so far.
Yeah.
And then let's just go have a quick look. Let's drive back through onto the outside of the tunnel here.
Watch the rocks there, boys.
Yeah, don't fall on your face, gentlemen. You'll get no sympathy with me. I'll just laugh at you. Farmer says thanks for all that the entire crew and for what you do for the painted dogs. Well, as I said, there's only about 5,500 wild dogs left in the whole of Africa in the wild. And there are 350 wild dogs in South Africa. So if you do the maths on it, it represents 4.5% of the population.
It's frightening.
That's, how scary is that? So it is really important to conserve even 20 dogs, even 5 dogs can make a massive potential in the, I'm concentrating on driving there, can make a massive difference in terms of the whole meta population for a country. And of course, South Africa is the only country in Africa currently with an increased dog population, and that increasing wild dog population has been used to seed populations that are now doing incredibly successfully in Mozambique, Malawi, and hopefully even further into Rwanda and Angola next year. Okay, Gareth, now you get to do your
Am I doing the trick?
you can do your trick. There we go, there we go. Thanks, Matt. Guys, everyone keeps stealing.
They can see I'm fat. And to put it up a bit higher there, man.
There we go. Watch your toes. Nice thing about having a small car.
Thank you, man.
Okay, let's just wait for Gareth.
I'm coming.
And you can see there's a lot of physical labor that goes into this type of work.
Yeah, grateful to these
Oh, yeah. Sharp.
working tirelessly in the African heat.
And it's been hot today. It's been about 88, 89 today, nearly 90 degrees.
Nice to have a look at this.
Yeah, that's
trailer
where
here.
we're going right now.
So that's the ultimate goal, is to have all of these dogs inside the trailer here, everybody.
Now, after we've been chasing them with a helicopter, and we might have to chase them for a considerable distance, you don't want to have to dart, because you can get capture myopathy with lactic acid buildup and that. So these dogs will not be sedated. They'll be chased into this trailer. This is actually a giraffe trailer. This is actually a spot for giraffe heads here. So it's actually a giraffe trailer normally. They will cover this in a lot more teff, which is this grass here, and you can see, but with dogs, when they get into something like this, they actually calm down quite quickly, as long as they don't have a lot of outside stimulus. I think, Andrew, if you want to show everyone down there, and you can see how small the gap is the dogs are going to be coming through. So they literally, as they get through here, we're going to try push the alpha. They're going to try push the alpha female all the way into the back, and as the pups come through, this door is going to be as quickly as possible. Hello, Becky. Hello, Velma. How many dogs? 20. Oh, no, sorry. There are 21 dogs in this pack. We have caught 8 so far, so 13 left to catch. It is the alpha female and 12 puppies. So there are 12 puppies that are currently need to be caught, and they are with the alpha female. Then, at the moment, just over this ridge in the distance.
Look who's here, everybody.
Oh, it's Grant.
The man himself.
Hi, Grant. I thought you didn't want to be on camera today, Grant.
I don't. I only wanted to be on camera after the success of this. We've been too lucky with live events going well. I'm worried our luck's going to run out.
We have been very lucky. Yeah, so basically we're going to a holding boma. Well, 2 different holding bomas for the 4 2-year-olds. Are going to be going to KwaZulu-Natal at some point in the future, and then the other remaining, my maths is not good, 17 dogs will be put in another holding boma and hopefully going somewhere into a big open system. Where exactly? Not sure yet.
Yeah.
It's basically, this is, as I said, a little prelude to what's going to come tomorrow. We're going to have full team on the ground tomorrow. Gareth is going to be here, Matt's going to be here, Andrew, Basil, Grant, Joel, Jerry, and obviously the incredible guys from Salati, Brian, Steve, and their team. So it's going to be very, very exciting, and I think it's going to be quite a long live broadcast. I think we thought we were going to be starting a little bit later now, while the guys just need to finish the. Oops, I nearly fell on my face. While they need to finish the boma. Everyone says hello, Grant.
Hello, everyone.
So if you've got any questions, now is the time. I will see if we can grab some of the capture experts just now that have come up. Where have they come up from? Nelspruit?
Nelspruit.
Yeah, so they've come up from a couple of 100 kilometers away. Now, as I said, as we were saying, the carnivores, this type of setup.
No, this is really the last resort for wild dogs.
Yeah.
And it's because we can't dart the pups.
Yeah.
It's too risky to dart the pups at 6 months old, and that's why we're doing this capture.
Yeah. And then also, you have seen us do net capture before. Net capture won't work here because there's too many animals.
And the pups
And the pups too small. They'll go through the net. Yeah. Jade says, hi, Grant, you're an inspiration. So now is your time for anyone who has got any questions. As I said, the live stream tomorrow will probably 6, I think it's probably 6 a.m. Central African time is probably a safe bet, and it'll probably go on for a couple of hours from there. It's one of the reasons we've got a full team. So when Gareth needs a break, I take over. When I need a break, Gareth takes over. Tired of listening to us. What do you do if a couple of dogs miss going into the boma? Well, we turn the helicopter around and start again.
Yeah, we try to only think of positive thoughts.
Palmer, only positive thoughts.
That's not the eventuality. They're all going to go in and it's all going to work smoothly. No, but you would loop around and
do that. But again, you should remember one of the reasons we left the alpha female is those puppies are not really going to go anywhere without her. So as long as you can keep the alpha female on the right line, it should be good.
And she's collared as well, so we can
find her again.
Exactly where she's going.
Although, when was it? Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Last time we were chasing them. You were, when was it Wednesday?
Yeah.
So the guys were busy. I came up by myself with Jerry and Joel when we died. But when we went to go push the alpha female on pups, we were in the helicopter. I had the telemetry out. And I was on top of it. I had the squelch right down. It was pinging, pinging. We could not see them. Yeah. We had to land the helicopter and go walking. So I found them on foot and then actually chased them again. But yeah, being able to track them with telemetry and with the satellite makes a massive difference. Sounds like it's going to be an all-nighter for some people, possibly. Betty, are some of the dogs coming to join the ones you already have in the boma? Yes and no. So I said the 4 yearlings, the 4 females, will stay behind in this boma for now.
Yeah, but unless she's asking about the Rietspruit, the dog.
Oh,
Rietspruit.
No. These are not going to join the Rietspruit ones. These are earmarked for a different. Jade would like to know, how long does it take to set up this type of catcher plan? Well, I think this might be a world record. You and Joel.
Less than 24 hours. The plan came to fruition yesterday.
It was yesterday, and we only confirmed it like 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Yeah. It's been a busy week.
Look, we've got the plans in terms of the teams having done it in the past. It hasn't. Jerry is actually one of the first helicopter pilots that have done it. In a very similar area to this.
Not far from here.
And so within the Wild Dog Advisory Group, this is a technique as a plan to catch wild dogs is there. It's in the arsenal, but it's last resort. So the team knows, especially the capture guys, it's not just about catching wild dogs, it's catching animals. And so the plan are there.
And then the actual physical setup is about 8 hours.
Grant, where did this pack originally come from, and how long have they been here?
So they were from KZN originally, and they've been here for just over 2 years.
Okay.
So I mean, it's always good from a wild dog conservationist point of view, but sad from the situation is they've done too well. They've bred well every year. Pup survival rate is higher because of low carnivore densities, low lion densities. So in a system like Kruger, up to 80% of the pups are killed within their first year in a natural system. So in a closed-off fence system, when they do well, and pup survival rate is so high, they've just done too well.
And in this case, we had alpha and beta female,
having pups both years as well.
And the alpha not killing the beta's pups.
Yeah. So the overall success of the introduction in terms of the range expansion project, long-term success of an introduction is that the pups reach maturity dispersal age. And that's happened now.
Incredible.
So that is absolutely amazing. I'm going to go get a drink of water quickly.
I was just thinking about it now. You say KZN. Whereabouts in KZN was it?
It was from a combination of 2 reserves, Shliwa and Falosi, one of them, and then they were kept in a temporary holding boma there. Okay. And that's something that's also, it's a question that gets asked a lot, because it's often, the narrative is that Wild South Africa's most endangered carnivore. But the interesting fact is they're not endangered based on numbers. They're endangered based on safe space. So wild dog numbers have actually increased through the interventions, through the introductions, to the point where there really is no other safe space available currently in South Africa, and that's why we started expanding into Mozambique, into other areas in Southern Africa, and then even into So the population is doing well to the point where in the next assessment for South Africa, theoretically wild dogs should be downlisted from endangered to vulnerable.
Okay.
And that's based on numbers. It's not based on numbers alone. It's based on the stability of the population, and the Kruger population at the same time is doing incredibly well.
Yes.
So historically we had introduced a pack Kruger into the north of Kruger because the population in the north had declined, and we had been monitoring them for a period of 10 years. But even in Kruger now, not that they're reaching capacity, but the population is expanded and packs have moved and re-established areas in Kruger. The Kruger's population is now close to the highest it's ever been, but there's nowhere else for dogs to go.
And something that we've definitely seen, obviously, around two smaller reserves like the one we're on here, is the reality is they do get out of these reserves. They go into neighbouring properties where they often get deemed as problem animals.
100%.
We have, dogs getting hit on the roads. So it seems like it's just almost like an impossible task for you with the space that you're referring to that's left in our country. What is it like when you're taking dogs to Mozambique or to Malawi? Is there much more space there?
It's the size of the reserve, so the minimum pack size, the minimum area size for a pack of wild dogs is 30,000 hectares.
Yeah.
So there's not many reserves that meet that.
Sure.
Within South Africa alone.
Yeah.
But in Malawi, you're looking at 400,000 hectares, where then it also allows the population to play out their natural processes,
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the interventions that is required in this managed range expansion setup are higher than that you would normally intervene in a Kruger, for example, because the dogs have the space to move.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, with this pack now, once they start going through the fence, once they start going out of the reserve, and they learn that the safety outside of the reserve to avoid lions or to avoid competition, it's safer outside than inside, that's when the last resort decision has to be made to a larger area.
Yeah. Now, our viewers may have already asked the question. I don't have my phone on me, but something that's popped into my head now, you touched on the fact that you're usually looking for reserves that are 30,000 hectares in size or bigger. We've obviously got that group of males that are in our boma on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. We're a much smaller reserve. We're only 5,500 hectares. What does that look like in terms of if we pair them up with females and then release those dogs onto that reserve? I seem to think that they probably just move out. What do you think?
Yeah, look, so we have situations that the minimum size of the reserve is for reintroduction based on best practice guidelines, that you don't want to introduce them into a reserve where it's not going to be viable from the start. Mm-hmm. The Rietspruit situation is slightly different in that those dogs were in a human wild situation, those males were brought in, and they're a dispersal group of males, so it's only males. And a dispersal group ranges a lot wider, so they were going to continue moving through and into areas that are not habitable for the dogs to go into.
Yeah.
So the idea with that is to put them in the boma, pair them or bond them with some females so it forms a viable pack, which I don't think they're going to stay within Rietspruit. It's surrounding Rietspruit and then into the APNR.
Yeah.
So Pridelands, where obviously you guys have operated on as well, where they can move into. And they've dispersed from a pack that came from within that APNR area.
Yeah.
But they're going to keep, a dispersal group is going to keep moving until they find females. Okay. So now we're just giving them females to reduce the area that they're moving and to establish a viable pack as opposed to males that are running around.
And also from a lot of the data when you bond in a boma and you don't release them as soon as they're bonded, you want to hold them there for a month, 2 months even, and then that boma actually, not always, but in quite a few cases becomes the sort of center point of their home range.
Yes.
So they can range onto raptors, they can range, as Grant was saying, everywhere.
Yeah.
Lisa says, thank you for streaming this incredible effort, so interesting and important. And I say this type of stuff, a lot of people don't realize the type of work that Grant and the guys from Salati and all the guys in this wildlife sphere do. These are not easy decisions, and they're not taken lightly to do. It's a massive undertaking to do something like this. So we do, thank you, Lisa, we do believe it's very important that we educate everyone about these type of things. And by not hiding the innovation, I think it's better for the world in total and that everyone can learn together. Okay, So we'll take a couple more questions, and I think we got to go do some work.
Indeed.
Stop sitting here chewing the fat. Let's have a look. I'm going to have a quick peek through there.
I was just thinking about this earlier. This looked like it was used recently, this trailer.
Yeah,
Seeing feed,
so as I said, the team is for general
any game capture, yeah.
Yeah, so this trailer would have been used to relocate
Anything.
antelope, whatever.
Rhino, possibly? Or was it too small?
No, it's just
too small, eh?
Okay, Andrew.
Yes.
Come here, you can come have a look at what the guys have done with. So Basil, you just stay at the entrance. There we go. As Gareth's going to look, see that pile of rocks we're standing on? They're the Selassie guys hard at work, sweating profusely in the African sun while we sit in the shade and chew the fat. So you can see how they're lining up the rocks on the curtain to try to stop the dogs. And as I said, this is the most critical spot where the dogs might try go under. You can see there's Steve with his chainsaw, looking very manly. So there's a couple of the guys there you see there on the right. They are the capture experts. They're double checking everything now. Yeah, let's go back. Okay, Vempi, I think we're good, Vempi. So guys, as I said, this is just a little prelude to the big show tomorrow. We'll show you one last thing. To get the trailer to the right height, someone's had to do some serious manual labor. I'm glad I went. But for this afternoon, it is time for us to love you and leave you. And keep an eye up on the socials and on the app. We will let you know when we're going to go live tomorrow morning. Very, very exciting times. Bye!
Bye, guys.